Let's talk about Toby Collyer. Preseason is all done with. The season opener is against Manchester City this Saturday. And with that being said, it's time to reflect on some of the things that we've seen. Now, I think Toby Collyer's performances was something that I think deserves its own spotlight. Seeing Ten Hag talking with him in a similar fashion to that he did with Kobbie Mainoo at the Carabao Cup final built a little bit of hype behind him. And fans obviously want the next Mainoo already. We've had Mainoo, give us the next Mainoo. Now, I don't know if Toby Collier's going to hit the level of ability and hype that Kobbie has hit, but I think there's a real player here that might get some minutes for the first team. Now let's talk about the expectation and the reality. And the reality with Toby is that a silly amount of people think that Mainoo's trajectory can be replicated often. I think there's a very real chance that Kobbie Mainoo is a once-in-a-generation academy player, at least. You know, there's obviously players of his ability around the world, but getting one through your own academy, it's a rare thing. You know, it's incredibly difficult for academy players to step into the first team and boss and own the position in the way that Kobbie has done right away, especially in midfield. It's an older guy's game. And that's why Mainoo's case has been so special. Now, I think Toby Collyer, for the most part, was a real solid contributor to our preseason games. When he was playing amongst the rotated squads, because you notice he started with the rotated squads and then got dragged into like the first 11, if you like. When he was playing amongst those rotated squads, he looked a class above. When he's gone out, I think, with the intention of impressing the manager, and he's done that. And I think that reflects highly on the character and the determination of the kid. He's worked hard, and it might pay off for him. He appeared in every single game, and he didn't disappoint. He had one mistake, which led to a goal for Liverpool, but you expect these mistakes. The point is to learn from the mistakes. And as for the qualities that he possesses, I think they're good enough to keep him around the squad. I don't know if it'll start many Premier League games this season, but I'll tell you this, he's put himself in the sort of position where if he comes on, no one's going to be like, oh, this kid. You know, the way Anthony's kind of getting treated at the moment, when Anthony comes on, everyone there's like a collective groan in the stand. You're not going to get that with him. I don't know where his ceiling is. I think he is good enough to be a squad player, which is still, a 30, 40 million pound saving that United don't need to buy if he is that player. Now, he is very athletic. He's very good off the ball. His movement off the ball, that catches the eye. And I think he's good on the ball. I don't think there's anything Mainoo sort of special on the ball with him yet, but he keeps it simple, and sometimes that's enough. I think it's important to be patient with him. It's difficult, I guess, with academy breakthroughs. Some shoot straight to the top, others take a more meandering route, some never get there. But you have got the potential here for an academy graduate coming through the ranks that's got the ability to be able to back up that squad. And it's not just him. I think from this tour, Amas is going to play minutes this season, unless he goes out on loan. I think that'd be a mistake if he did. I think with the fitness of Malacia and Shaw and the performance that he's shown so far, Amas will play first-team football for Manchester United this season. And I'd be shocked if I'm wrong on that. But I also think Maxi Holiday's done himself no harm whatsoever with his performances and real intelligent touches on the ball. Will Fish, but for the injury, could be looking like he could be filling that Camboala role this season. Ethan Wheatley, depending on injuries, might find himself on the bench a little bit. But Collyer has impressed. And I'm probably going to do a separate video on Harry Amas because I think he might feature against City this weekend. Collyer has impressed. And that's what we can say about him. He's impressed. Now, there's a long way to go before he's one of the first names on the bench every single week and he gets 10, 15 minutes and he comes on and he does his job. That's a long way away. But it could happen for him this year. There is a player there. There's a couple of little kinks in his game that he needs to iron out. That will probably come with confidence and experience. It'll certainly come with the hard work that he looks like he's putting in. But there is no reason why he can't become a footballer for Manchester United. Now, obviously, he's worked alongside Casemiro. And I think any midfielder that gets to train alongside Casemiro has to really sort of take a notebook to work. He's won everything. Now, we're not seeing the absolute ironclad standard that you want here, the gold standard of Casemiro. But for a player developing, there'll be things that Casemiro's saying to him, I hope, on the training pitch, in matches, that's just building to his game. And he's got to pluck as much knowledge as he can while he's there. Now, he played beside him in pre-season. That will be valuable experience. He might have even played better than Casemiro in games. And I think that stands for something. United can't afford to play a full season with Casemiro in the six. His time has been and gone. And even though he looks lean and he looks like he's at it, I just can't see him having another season like his first season for us. Which gives Collyer an opportunity to leapfrog him in the pecking order, which I know I'm saying it, but I almost don't ever believe it. There's an opportunity there though, isn't there? In the same way that Mainoo has. Now, listening to some of the quotes from him, he said everybody wants to be able to play in the first team. So I think getting the experience like this in a stadium like this as well, it's the top level. And obviously the opposition was top level as well today. So I'm taking everything step by step and hopefully I'll get many more opportunities to show what I can do. And he spoke about playing alongside Casemiro. And he said it's so valuable to play next to Casemiro. He's one of the best ever in that position. So it's great for someone like myself to learn off him. Even just to watch him in training and have him next to me. Always talking to me and helping me out. As well as the other lads as well. He's a real leader in the team. After the Arsenal game, he says, was I pleased with how I played? Yeah, I thought I had an okay game. I thought there was a lot of things I could have done better, but it's great to experience a game like today, and I can take that into the next game and even into training tomorrow. So, does he start games? Not unless it's your latter stages of the group in the Europa or it's the League Cup. I don't think he does start games, no. But I do think he plays games. And the academy is impressing at the moment. They're going deep. The under-18s are winning the lot. You had last year, we had the FA Youth Cup win. There's a lot of things going real nice for Manchester United at the moment. There's a good crop of talent coming through. Mainoo's going to be a bit of a shining light, potentially like the Ryan Giggs kind of like torchbearer for the next crop that comes through. You've still got Ibrahimov, you've still got Shea Lacey, you've still got all of these players. We could really be building an exciting crop of youngsters here. And that's a big bonus for us. Hopefully they all reach a similar sort of level. And Collyer could still be a starter for Manchester United. It's just very hard to say that he will be based on a handful of pre-season games. But it's a big season ahead of him. And I think we like our academy players at Old Trafford. We're going to be right behind him. And let's hope he can do it because it saves us 40, 50 million if he ends up being a first choice player, doesn't it? See you in the next one. Hey, thank you for watching the video. If you are new around these parts, then don't forget to subscribe. My channel is proudly supported by my community on Patreon. If you'd like to get a little bit of extra content, a Discord group, meetups, five-a-side games, weekly podcasts, behind the scenes, and even an occasional bit of transfer news as and when I get it, then for the price of a pint, you can show your appreciation for the content that we make and get some goodies for doing so as well. Check the link in the description or click the button right here. You'll also find all of my socials here too if you want to follow me on any of those platforms. Nice one.